So now that Apple has lifted the NDA, everybody can talk about the new hardware that Apple is bringing to the refresh of the MacBook Pros. Now, there's some good things and some bad things here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what the specs are, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about why I think this hardware refresh just isn't enough. So first up, for the 13-inch MacBook Pro, we now get new quad-core processors in both the i5 and i7 variety, the 8th generation Intel Silicon. We still get just up to 16 gigs of RAM, more on that later, but we also get storage increased up to 2 terabyte in SSD form. Now, Apple has said that they expect that the new 13-inch MacBook Pros should get up to double the performance of their previous devices. The 15-inch MacBook Pro is going to get access to hexa-core, yes, I said 6 cores, of the latest 8th generation Intel Silicon in both the i7 and i9 varieties. You also have the option to configure up to as much as 32 gigs of RAM. Now, this is the 2400 megahertz DDR4 RAM, but still a nice option to have because you were previously capped at 16 gigs. It also is going to get an increase in onboard storage up to a whopping 4 terabytes, which is truly primo, but you're also going to pay a premium price for it. Now, Apple has indicated that they've also increased the battery capacity of the 15-inch MacBook Pro in order to accommodate both the larger processor size as well as the less efficient and increased RAM, but they still plan for you to expect about the same 10 hours of battery life. Apple's also claiming that users are going to see about a 70% increase in performance. Mind-blowing when you really think about it. Now, both of these devices are going to get True Tone displays, which should help correct the color space in all kinds of lighting, but these hardware refresh upgrades are only available to the Touch Bar versions of both the 13 and the 15-inch MacBook Pros. Sorry, the 13-inch MacBook Pro with no Touch Bar, you ain't getting no love. So now let me tell you why I still think this hardware refresh isn't good enough from Apple. Number one, no changes to the number of ports. Both the 13-inch and the 15-inch MacBook Pro still only have 4 USB-C/Thunderbolt ports and a headphone jack, and that's it. Most Pros, again, still need USB-A, still need SD card slots, but on the upside, if you've already purchased a 2016 MacBook Pro or 2017 MacBook Pro and you're already living that dongle life, you're probably already in possession of the hardware that you're going to need for these. Number two, no power user upgrades for the 13-inch MacBook Pro. Still capped at 16 gigabytes of RAM, capped at 2 terabytes of storage instead of 4, and no increase in battery capacity? Come on, guys. There are people out there, like me, who prefer the 13-inch form factor for their MacBook Pro because it's super portable and you can just get around with it a lot easier. But Apple sees fit to basically give no love to those people as well. I'm sure that there are cost considerations there, but let's be honest, these things are going to cost a pretty penny anyway. Number three, they really didn't fix the keyboard. The keyboards that are coming with the new MacBook Pro hardware refresh are still the butterfly switches that are to be found in the 2016 and 2017 line of MacBooks and MacBook Pros. You know, those ones that dust and breadcrumbs are their kryptonite. Apple has said that these new keyboards were primarily focused on making the typing experience better and quieter. And while they may have done that, they still haven't done anything other than offer you a 4-year warranty to make sure that these keyboards are going to last the life of your machine. Number four, none of these hardware improvements are available on a non-Touch Bar MacBook Pro. Yeah, I talked about this already, but let's be honest here. The Touch Bar has limited functionality. No one that I've seen or talked to or read about on the internet has really made a significant use case for the Touch Bar being valuable in any way, shape, or form. Apple again continues to bet on the, so far, useless tech in the Touch Bar. I don't need it and I wouldn't pay for it unless I absolutely have to, which I do have to because I want the better hardware in my MacBook Pro. Number five, and speaking of paying for extra, you're going to be paying extra. Even though it starts at $17.99, the fully maxed out 13-inch MacBook Pro will run you a whopping $36.99. And if you thought that was whack, the 15-inch MacBook Pro will still start at $23.99, but a fully maxed out version will run you a mind-boggling $66.99. I don't even have any words. Now, I produce our podcast and edit videos like this on a 2015 Retina MacBook Pro, and it's fine. But would I love having a hexa-core processor in my computer? Absolutely, who wouldn't? And the best real value in Apple products is generally getting the most maxed out SKU that you can and then hanging on to it for as long as possible. But if you wanted to do that with the 15-inch MacBook Pro, there's just no way that most people could afford that. These machines are clearly targeted at high-end creative professionals and people who need that kind of CPU processing power just to do their jobs. The rest of us will just have to make do. That's why I think these changes were just not good enough from Apple. But let me know what you think in the comments section below. As always, if you enjoyed the video, you can gently press that thumbs up button, and if you want more of our content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and remember, as always, we will talk tech soon.